Hey, I'm Rick.
And I'm Sarah.
You seem awful excited today. We are above the dash. What?
We are above the dash.
We are above the dash. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
Fantastic. A little bit later than normal. Today we wanted to discuss 5 things that you need to do if you're thinking about buying rental property. You can do them on your own. You can do them with us. There's all kinds of different ways to do. But these are basically 5 things that you need to make sure that you do. You can't just dive in and just buy a property and hope that it's going to turn you a profit. You do need to do your research. You will actually, with a property manager, get more than our cost. You'll get more than 10% in rent a year than what typically a cost of a property manager is. So you're better off using one. But if you choose not to, that's fine too. These are the 5 things that you need to do. So what's first?
Identify your goal.
Yeah, what's your goal? Are you trying to just have one property? You're trying to have 100 properties? You're trying to have an apartment complex? You're trying to have a commercial property, industrial property? What is your goal? Back in the day when I was in Virginia and had my business there, the guy owned one building. It was actually one complex, 3 buildings, industrial, and he said that was his retirement, and that's all he worked. He worked it very well. He had, I guess, maybe 10 tenants in each building, so he had 30 tenants in that building. So if that's your goal, or your goal can be just to own maybe one property or maybe multiple properties and grow it from there. So define your goal so that you then know where you're going. Start with the end in mind and then go in that direction.
Or other goals such as, are you going to flip the property? Are you going to keep it for a rental property? And that type.
Yeah, completely different properties there, because a rental, I mean, if you can buy one that's in decent shape, you don't have to put any money into it. So, flip, you're typically buying a bottom in bad shape and putting an investment in it, adding value to the property, and then flipping it over. Do that with a rental as well, but it's not always as easy.
Evaluate your financing options.
Most people buy their rentals with cash, but if you have really good credit, you can get 25% down or 20% down. Often a good technique is to pay cash and then refinance it right after you close it. We have lenders that can do that for you. How are you going to do it? Do you have a lot of cash laying around? You're going to pay cash. Obviously, if it's a big apartment complex for $2 million, you're going to finance that. So you need to have all that lined up in advance. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time out looking at properties. Make sure you know how you're going to pay for it, what your budget is, and where you want to be. That gets you in a much stronger position to negotiate when you're a buyer.
Decide on local or long distance ownership.
So, some people live in areas that aren't necessarily right to rent. If you're in an area where the houses are $500,000, it's going to be tough to make a profit renting that. Typically, you want to at least get 10 times your return. So, for instance, if you pay $100,000, you want to get $1,000 in rent. That's not 10 times, but that's a quick multiplier that you can use. So if you don't live in that area, you might have to live remote. You might live in a state that's overpriced, or you might live in, say, New York, where they're going to tax you to death, and then you want to have your rental property in Florida. That's where we come in. We would help you with that, but you need to decide, is your market right? And then decide on a market, and then know that market inside and out, either through your own research or preferably with professionals' research.
Research rent and home prices.
Yeah, you're going to need to know how much it is, how much rents are in the area that you're doing, and how much the property costs, because obviously you're going to then determine your profit margin based on that. That's going to be very difficult. There's a lot of tools out there that you can get close, but when you're serious, you need to call us, and you need us to tell you this house is worth X and this is what you're going to rent it for, and you may do better in a different property, or this is a great deal, or anything like that. But you need to absolutely do your research. Don't just go on Zillow and go, oh, Zillow says it's worth 120 and I'm getting it for 80. Red flag. And then if Zillow says I'll get $1,500 for rent, why am I only getting $1,100? Well, that's an automated system. You need, once you're serious, you need the human element involved in that.
And last, choose to be a do-it-yourself landlord or use a property management company.
Which one do you think is best? If the house is right next door, you can probably do it yourself. If it's not, if it's in another town, you definitely need a property manager. Property manager will help you in more ways than you think. Number one, it'll take the headache away. We have all the headaches. Number two, if God forbid you ever do have to evict, property manager can take care of that for you, which is a major pain in the butt. And number three, any little repairs, little things here and there, property manager will make sure all of that is taken care of. And the magic is, the other main thing is, those with questionable character, let's say, tend to avoid property managers because they know that we're going to do full background checks. They know that we do this for a living. They know that we're pretty good at it. So they try to take advantage of those that are of the do-it-yourselfers. So that said, we get a better clientele, typically a better tenant who will pay more. And any tenant that uses a property manager to find their property, they're also kind of the same way. They're using the property manager because they know they're probably going to get a better relationship than they are with a do-it-yourselfer. So they're willing to pay a little bit more. So for instance, if you get $1,000 more, $1,000 more, real nice with it. If you get $100 more for a property renting for $1,000, and you now get $1,100, that's going to put $1,200 more in your pocket, and you're only going to have to pay 10% on that. So if you hire us, so you actually put more money in your pocket in the long run. You save on repairs, you save on headaches, and you listen to all the gurus, Clark Howard, what's that guy, Dave Ramsey. They always say use a professional property manager. You will make more money in the long run. Is that it?
That is it.
All right. We are your property masters. We do own a property management company, and we also can manage the entire company for you. We are reachable at 386-866-1007. Share this video before the end of November and enter yourself to win a $25 Panera Bread gift certificate. Pandora, whatever. Panera Bread gift certificate. Share this video now. You can reach us at 386-866-1007. We are your property masters, McBride Realty Group and McBride Property Management. Have a